What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr Games, and I'm bringing to you guys an update to my synchron deck, and not just any update. As you can see, I'm utilizing both Shooting Majestic Star Dragon and Red Supernova Dragon, because if you guys know me by now, you know I'm a huge fan of both Yusei and Jack Atlas respectively, and I just do love the Red Dragon Archfiends as a whole, and I feel like their own deck still needs more support for it to be good. Like, it still bricks quite heavily at times, and so I find that to summon the Red Dragon Archwing boss monsters, Synchrons just does it so much better and so much more consistent that I felt like I had to at least try and utilize a Synchron deck that makes both Yusei's aces as well as Jack's aces both consistently, and you'll see that in some combos as well. So before I get into this, if you enjoyed, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that, and all of that is greatly appreciated, and thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this Yusei Atlas profile, you could call it. So, to start off with, Synchron's got a lot of good stuff off both the ban list and in Battle of Chaos, which is very, very nice. So, obviously, starting off with the 3 Stardust Synchrons, 3 Junk Synchrons, the 1 Cyber Synchron, and we are utilizing Satellite Synchron as our level 2 Synchron target. You can play Fuller Synchron, you can also play Necro Synchron as well. It's completely up to you on what you personally want. I've gone for Satellite Synchron because it can, at times, special summon itself. So if you do open with it, you can at least summon it out later on in combo to get good use out of it. Because we are playing Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, we are obviously playing the Converging Rules package. The forms of Converging Rules Dragon and the Baby Mud Dragon of choice for my level 1 target. And then because E-Telly came off the list to 3, we are playing Psy Reflector. I'm playing Psy Reflector over the Dawnwalker package because I feel like the Assault Mode package just has a lot more utility within the deck, especially now with E-Telly at 3. You can always have some nice access to a level 1 tuner at any point in your combos or in the duel, which is very, very strong, very, very handy. And this one card gets you a level 8 option as well, if you do need that. Because he also came with the ban list, we are playing Destroyer, the Lost Dragon's Prison. It's just a nice tuner extender that you can make, who's also a dark and bear that mind with Sign Reflector as well, when we get later on in the profile. That's it for all the tuners, pretty much. So to non-tuners, we're playing the 3 Junk Converter, 3 Doppel Warrior, and I'm playing 1 Claw Crow, and then to run up the monsters, we're playing the 1 Assault Beast as another non-tuner. I've gone down with the 1 Claw Crow. If you wanted to, you could play the... I'm not playing it at the moment because I'm still fine tweaking the extra deck. You can play the Cupid Pitch, which can search Claw Crow mid-combo, if you so wish. And that's something that I'll still be testing and trying out. I think 1 Claw Crow is fine. I'd rather see Doppel Warrior as well as the Junk Converter, just because they add a bit more usage in the combos as opposed to just Claw Crow. But Claw Crow is still good to play because it does help you just get a nice easy what's his name, Junk Speeder out with your Junk Synchron. So that's it for the monsters. Moving on to spells, we're playing the obvious 3 E-Telly nicely off the ban list. We are playing the 3 Synchro Overtake, and still my personal 1 tuning. I'm still on the face that the argument side that I just prefer Synchro Overtake to tuning. Tuning is still a nice one-off to play in personal in the deck. I wouldn't play I wouldn't play none of it, but I still think that I'd rather see Synchro Overtake than tuning, because Overtake summons the monster out on the board. Yeah, tuning can get you a good mill, but it's still a luck. I don't want to base the entire deck on luck, otherwise I might as well just play Lightsworn. So that's my argument there. I still love Overtake. I think Overtake's an amazing card. The fact it can also summon from Graveyard means it's pretty much always live. Then we're playing the 1 Reinforcements of the Army, the 1 1 for 1 Arriving Light for the Arriving Light package, The one, Stardust Illumination, is really good for the level modulation, and the one, Foolish. We're playing a lot of rotors in the deck, and we're even playing this as well, Allure of Darkness, because now we have the free E-Tally argument. You want to play free Side Reflector, and because Lost Dragon's Prison's back, we're playing him as well. We play lots of darks naturally, thanks to all the junk synchrons, double warriors, etc, etc. So it's actually really handy that we can play things like Allure of Darkness just to dig through our deck, get the duplicates that we don't need in our hands out of our hands, and then you can just search and get into our other combo pieces to either start our plays or continue our plays and push through things like hand traps, etc. So I'm really liking the Allure of Darkness in the deck. I think it's just a nice form of consistency. You can drop it down to 2 if you wanted to and play like an additional tech, like another Claw Crow if you really wanted, and things of that nature. Like these 3 slots are like really good for like your own personal techs. You could just lower the amount of allures and add in your own personal techs. We are playing 1 Monster Reborn. It's a nice good extender. Cool Valley Grave to stop those hand traps. And I'm playing the 2 Assault mode activates because I really want to be able to resolve the Side Reflector, and I don't want to open up the Assault mode activate. If you open up Beast, it's fine. You can still do the play. But if you open up the Assault mode activate, like the play is just over. So I'm playing the 2. You could, like, there is arguments like, oh well, now you're just playing 2 bricks. But I just really want to be able to resolve that Side Reflector. I'm tempted to put in a Stardust Assault mode. I may take out the Allure for that, just because then I have usage for the Assault mode activate. It would mean I have to change the extra and put Stardust Dragon in. But as I said earlier, the extra I'm still fine tweaking and fine tuning, just to see what I'm actually summoning out the most and utilizing, and then the rest I can swap in for other tech choices and other personal uses. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. This is what I really find interesting with this deck as a whole, is that the main deck is quite easy to build. It's just, you know, you play it, you find out what you're actually using and stuff from those lines, if I can get my words right. And a lot of people's builds are fairly similar, so like that's pretty good to make. It's just when you get to the extra deck, the extra deck is just so like all over the place. There's so many options you can play, so many routes and routes that you can go, and like different combo lines and so on and so forth. So lots of different end boards, etc, etc. And so that's what I'm, again, like as I keep saying, still fine tweaking, still fine tuning as to what I'm actually using. But to the actual boss monsters themselves, I feel like that's the best way to start with this kind of deck, is what are your boss monsters, what do you want to end your board on, and then you can then practice a combo to get you to that end board, and you're like, okay cool, so I use this and this and this to get into that, and so like that's what I start off with, and then you can just build on from there. And so I wanted to go for Supernova Dragon and the Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Both these are very oppressive boss monsters in their own right, and I think they are both very underrated. Supernova has a kind of like logical reason to be underrated and overlooked, just because of his summoning restriction in terms of like needing 3 tuners. Does eat up a lot. It is arguably easier to make Shooting Majestic Star. But if you can get these on the board, like you're in a very good spot. Like I tend to go now with Supernova first, just because you can back this card up with a Crystal Ring, or something like a Crystal Ring. And then like, cool, you now have a board wipe with the Supernova, so you can just completely clear the board and you still have a monster negate to eat up something that will probably disrupt your board. But both these are very strong. I really like using both of them, and I felt like I had to try and make a deck that utilizes both. For my Red Dragon part of it, because as I said, I wanted to try and really make this a Yusei and Jack focused deck. So these are the 3 cards that, as well as Supernova and another card later on, really adds in the Jack aspect of this deck. Like I find like Jack's aspect is mostly in his extra deck as opposed to his main deck. Yeah, the resonators are cool. I really love the resonators. I really kind of want to put in like a synchron resonator in the deck. This is like another level 1 extender for a tuner. But I find the main thing that just screams Jack Atlas and like shows off Jack Atlas is his extra deck. So Spain, Abyss, and the Chaos Ruler to help you get into these cards. These cards you can actually end a board, and I'll show you a combo either in this video or on another video, depending on how long this video is, that ends on Shooting Majestic Star, one of these two or both, depending if what your hand is, and a Crystal Ring Synchro Dragon. Very strong looking board and very oppressive for your opponent to have to try and get over. Then for your other level 8s is your Crystal Ring Synchro Dragon, just overall great generic level 8, and the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. I just love Scarlet and just Red Dragon Archfiend as a whole, and so I had to try and fit him in the extra deck, and it's quite easy for me to fit him in the extra deck. It's because, you know, there is space, in my personal opinion. I tend to not play this deck like, you know, draw off Hyper Librarian. I tend to not do those combos. So because I'm not doing those combos and I just go straight to the end board, no faffing around, as I like to word it, getting many Hyper Librarian draws, I have a lot of space in my extra deck, so I'm able to fit things like Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, like Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, so on and so forth. But yeah, these are my other two level 8s. Again, I might put in a Stardust Dragon to fit in the Assault mode version, but that's something I'm still tweaking. Dawn Dragster is just a strong level 7 to put on the board, just for a good spell negate, spell trap negate. For your level 5s is Junk Warrior. You need a target for your Synchro Overtake, so Junk Warrior is still really good. The One Garden Rose Maiden, I put this card in because I do really like the Anti-Nibiru combo, and I wanted to still utilize that combo probably more often than not. So I put the Garden Rose Maiden in for that, and there are plays that you can just use this as your level up climb and get it into the graveyard, because most, if not all, your boss monsters are dragons. Having this just nicely chilling in the graveyard means that even if your board does get like cleared, you still have the Garden Rose Maiden graveyard to at least get you one of your boss monsters back and either get it on the board or eat in the game. A new card that came out in Battle of Chaos, which is just so good, is Dark Dimension Soldier. This card is a bit underlooked at the moment in terms of synchro players out there, and I really like this card. You easily banish your junk synchrons and your other dark monsters so easily in your combo, so being able to make this mid combo, just banish a card from your hand and get that tuner back and go into a level 8 like a Crystal Ring, is so good. So if you don't know what this card does, he's a level 5 Dark Warrior Synchro, 1200 attack and 2400 defense. He is generic, and you can banish one card in your hand, then target one of your banished dark monsters and special summon that monster in face up or face down defense position. During the end phase, inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each set card on the field. You can use each effect of Dark Dimension Soldier once per turn. So because it just says Dark Monster, your Chaos Ruler banishes itself when it uses its effect. In terms of this build, your Supernova Dragon banishes himself when he uses his effect. So on your next turn, you can just make this, if you haven't made it already, use his effect, banish a card from your hand, get back your Supernova, and then you can just start punching your opponent for massive damage, and then you can level climb again into your Crystal Ring, or Starlight, or anything of that nature, any other level 8s that you're currently playing. It's just such a strong card, and that's just getting back your big boss monsters. You can just again get back a junk synchron, and then start synchro climbing even higher. Like, this card has so many uses, so many different plays that you can make in this deck in particular. I really like this card. So Dark Dimension Soldier, definitely have a good look at it. Toy around. And then your Junk Speeder for your other level 5. Again, I'm not playing the Hyper Librarian draw play. He might go back in there. He might come back in the extra deck, but at the moment I just don't do those plays. I just don't do those combos. That's why I just gone away from that. Just go straight to my end board, no faffing about, and then so that's why I don't have to play it. One Herald of the Arclight is my level 4 target. I'm toying between either this, Cupid Pitch, or just for a fun tech Armory Arm, because I just love Armory Arm as a whole. But it's either between this and Cupid Pitch, mostly just because Cupid Pitch is a very strong level 4 to make. So I might go back to Cupid Pitch, because you can just use the lower levels to level climb up in your combo if you need to, and then start alternating your levels and so on and so forth, and then start searching your things like your Claw Crow, and so that's why I might go back to Cupid Pitch. One Martial Metal Marcher and the one Celestial Double Star Shaman. Just very strong low level synchros that you can use for your plays. But guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I will go and do a combo guide just so you can see what the deck does. So let me just pause and come back, and I'll see you guys in the combo. And we're back with the combos. So all the combos I'm going to show you, I'm not sure how many I'm going to show you because I don't want this video to be drastically too long, and so I'm going to speed through the combos just so you can get a gist of like how I'm trying to make this deck. They're all just basically make your junk speeder and go off from there. Pretty nice and easy, and it's just so easy to just build the deck around it. So I'm just going to go with a junk synchron Claw Crow. You summon on the board, you sync them off, and you go straight into your junk speeder. So this is just literally a 2-card combo. I will show you what you can end on when you add just one additional extender. So you use this, you make your junk speeder, and you use his effect, you summon out your tuners from your deck. So your 1, 2, 3, and your 4. From here you're going to use your Stardust Synchron, and you're going to add yourself the Arriving Light, and then you're going to play the Arriving Light. You're then going to use your junk speeder, Stardust Synchron, your satellite synchron, and your cyber synchron. And then you're going to make yourselves your supernova dragon. This is the supernova crystal ring combo that I'm just going to quickly show you guys. From here you're going to use the Arriving Light, and you're going to summon out your draw, and it's going to be your converging wheels. I forgot to stack it, but then you get out your converging wheels and you summon out your baby mud dragon. From here you're going to use your Stardust Synchron's effect Engrave, sack off the converging wheels, summon out the Stardust Synchron, synchro these, your Stardust Synchron does get banished, and then you make yourself your level 5. So I'm going to go with Garden Rose Maiden just because, again, sync those up, and then you make your crystal ring. I'm going to put him in the extra monster zone because your supernova is going to clear off the board himself anyway, to just nuke your opponent's field. So there's no point keeping him in the extra monster zone. So I put the crystal in the extra monster zone because then he's protected by cyber synchron. And because my 2 end boards revolving 2 giant dragons, it's nice to have the Garden Rose Maiden in the graveyard so that if they do get cleared, again, Garden Rose, revive it back. So that is just the first little combo, just to show off what I want this deck to do and how I'm utilizing the boss monsters that I've chosen. Now to go into the other combo. So again, you use your 2 monsters and then you make your speeder. Use your speeder's effect. You summon out your tuners from the deck. Use Stardust Synchron to add the Arriving Light. You play it and you stack your converging wheels. From here you're going to use your junk synchron and your junk speeder, and you're going to go straight into your Chaos Ruler. We're not going to use his effect. I'm just going to use the Arriving Light to summon out the converging wheels from deck, and then he's going to summon out the baby mud dragon. We're going to use Cyber Synchron to double converging wheels to a 2, and I'm going to use Satellite Synchron and the Chaos Ruler and go into our Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. From here we're then going to use the Stardust Synchron and the baby mud dragon, and we're going to go into our we're going to go straight into our Dark Dimension Soldier. From here we're going to use the Chaos Ruler to banish our Junk Synchron and our Stardust Synchron, and you're going to revive our Chaos Ruler. From here, we're going to use the Cyber Synchron in Chaos Ruler. Make ourselves the Hot Red Abyss, and then use these two to make our Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. And that's our first combo. That's just what the 2 cards get us straight off the bat. If we had 1 card to discard in our hand, we can then use the Dark Dimension Soldier. We can then banish the card from our hand, res the Junk Synchron, and then go straight into our Crystal Ring Synchro Dragon. And then if we had, so that's our first end board. You can then use the Hot Red Abyss. You can use the Bane. If I don't want to keep adding more cards, extenders, you can then just use Bane's effect just to sack himself and get back the Hot Red Abyss. And then you got Monster Negate, Omni Negate, and Omni Negate all on board. All of just a single make speeder and 1 card in your hand to banish. If you had any extender just to get it on the board, so like, let's say, it was like a double warrior, because we do revive in the combo, or anything like that. Let's say it was the like a Claw Crow, for example. If you had like a Claw Crow extender, you just get the Claw Crow out, use the Abyss, use the Bane to just tribute the Claw Crow, and then you get your Abyss out. So you have 3 negates and like just a giant body on board, the forms of the Bane. But that's, guys, that's just the quick little combos that I'm just utilizing so far in the deck, just to get you guys to understand how I want to make this deck and how I want the combo lines to work, and just basically what I want it to do as a whole. I hope you guys enjoyed this version of the deck. I know it's not super competitive. This is kind of like a more fun variant of Synchrons, but still ends on strong oppressive boards, in the forms of just giant dragons that your opponent just has to like deal with. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you think, and what do you think of Dark Dimension Soldier. I think that's like the main thing I want to get across in these things as a whole, in terms of like the competitive aspect. Like, he's a very good card, and I feel like he is needs a bit more look at in terms of like how he can be used in Synchrons. But always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.